I got that holiday feeling, don't you? I sure got it. This is Steve Ray, everybody. Welcome to the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply Store Wednesday night catch-up show right here live on Facebook. I've got my two buddies with me tonight. I've got Michael Williams and Jason Penley with me tonight. What's up, boys? How you doing?
Yeah. Doing great, man.
We're going to have a good time tonight. Happy holidays to you fellas.
Happy holidays to y'all.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Jason. So we're going to be talking about a couple of different things going on at the store. I will remind everybody that coming up at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, David Bosca will be doing his Butcher Barbecue product review. And Michael and Jason, you don't want to miss this one. Okay.
Oh no, I definitely plan on catching that one.
He did not reveal what he's going to review. It's a secret. But being in his inner circle as I am, I know the secret. And you're going to love it. And post show, we will be posting the pictures of it at my store. If you get what I mean, okay.
All
so
right.
We've got the product in that he is going to be talking about, but he's going to introduce it. So I don't want to steal David's lightning and thunder, but these products that he is going to be introducing are fantastic. It's something
Sweet.
that we've been waiting on. And Jason, I know you're new to the club, so to speak.
I am.
But Michael is a Butcher Barbecue ambassador. Of course, I'm a retailer, and I think Billy Holland an ambassador too, Michael.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. Yeah, I know he hangs up his stuff, so he could be.
I think he is. Yeah. But
Yeah.
we're Butcher Barbecue guys. David is a fantastic guy. Well, when I first started selling barbecue products years and years ago, we had the store, Jason, where the store was actually a tire room and a waiting room in an area where you came in to, get your car fixed. It was a big room. It was way too big for that. It was making me no money. And I set up one little stack of shelves in there, and I had met David in a chat room on another barbecue show one night. So I called him up and I said, "Hey, David, could I sell some of your products?" And he goes, "Absolutely." And so I sent him what I wanted, or he sent me a list. And I sent him what I wanted. And from day one, when I put them on the shelves, people just came in there and just loved it. So David kind of got me started. So we've always been, I'm not going to say partial, but he's our guy. He's our guy. He's always helped us out. And Michael, yourself, if you ever have trouble, you can call a cell phone. He'll help you right out, won't he?
That's right. He'll answer the phone. He's an open book, as he says. An awesome guy.
Very, very accessible, and we love him to death. And we're so glad to be part of his company, and we're so glad his company's part of the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply. We're going to be talking about several different things, but coming up on Saturday, December the 9th, that is a week from this Saturday, is the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply Christmas Chili Cook-Off. And it wasn't until this week, Michael and Jason, I'm going to go to you first, that it really kind of became chili season, because I saw what you were doing on Facebook. Right. And tell us about that little concoction you were putting together.
So that's my over-the-top chili. That's kind of the YouTube fad or the craze that's going on right now. A bunch of my grilling groups that I'm in on Facebook, everybody's doing the over-the-top chili, but I kind of changed this last one up a little bit. I've always normally done a ball with my hamburger meat. And for those that don't know how over-the-top chili works, so you take all of your chili ingredients minus the meat, put them in the pot, and then you put a grate over the meat and put a grate over the pot, then put your meat on top of the grate. When your meat comes up to temperature, of course, during that time, it's gathering smoke and flavor and everything. When it comes up to temp, you take the meat off, break it up, then drop it down in the chili. Of course, you've got all the drippings that have fell down into your pot of chili. And then I'll let it simmer for a little while. But there's kind of been a debate going on where you put it in a ball and you have less surface area. So, and you want more surface area, I guess, for smoke is what they're getting at. So this last time I made like a patty that was pretty much the same size, a little bit smaller than my pot. It was decently thick, but not near as thick as a ball, of course. And then I let it come up to temp, having more surface area, put it in the chili. And I'm going to tell you, it may not be chili cook-off ready yet, but it ain't far from it.
And what kind of meat was it that you put on it? What kind of meat was it?
This
Jason?
time I just used 80-20 ground beef.
Okay. So I didn't realize that you didn't put that meat in. I thought you put meat in the chili and then you just used that for seasoning or flavor. I didn't realize that you actually put that meat in the chili.
Yeah,
I'm not a chili guy or not, I'm not much of a chili guy.
Well, and to be honest with you, my wife's always done the chili. We've been a crock pot chili family for a long time. And I was seeing all this, online. I was like, I got to get in on this. I got to try it, see what the hype's about. And
Crock pot.
I'm gonna tell you. I know, yeah, I know the crock pot. I know, but I was impressed, and I'm really one of my I'm my food's biggest critic. And this time it was amazing, to be honest with you.
Well, that's great. Now, Michael, what in the contest we've got let's see, we can do this. We've got eight competitors. There's Jeff, Billy, Perry, Mark, and Michael. That's oh gosh, what's Ellis's first name? Michael.
Mark.
I'm sorry, Mark. Brad, Jason. That guy's a hoot right there. Roger and Craig, and they're going to be the contestants. And we go here to the judges, and there you've got Marcus Garner, Jim Reynolds, Andy Cagle, Jason Penley. You're one of your co-hosts tonight, and Andre James from the Times Free Press, the food writer, and he has so graciously donated his time to come out and judge the chili as well. So we're going to have 5 judges. We're going to have 10 participants, and we're really looking forward to it. And we're inviting everybody to come out. You don't have to be a participant. You'll be able to sample all the chili until it's gone. The guys will make a whole lot, and they'll have to give a whole lot to the judges the way we're going to do it. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And we got plenty of parking in the back, of course. There'll be signs directing you to the parking, and we want you to come out and sample the chili. And Jason, you'll be able to you'll sample everybody's, but you'll be able to get out there and mingle afterwards, and we'll talk about it.
All right.
And Michael, I'm really looking forward to it. Are you an over the top guy, Michael, or are you just a standard guy?
Well, over the top chili is one of my favorite ways to do it, but I've not decided yet what I'm going to do in this competition. I've done some chili competitions in the past and done several different flavors, different types, and so we'll see. I'm still researching to see what I want to bring to the table this time. But yeah, I do like over the top.
Have any of y'all ever done chicken chili?
I have.
Yeah, well, I did. I do a white chicken chili that's fantastic.
Now, what Michael, what is yours? White, what they call white chili?
It is white chili, and I smoke the chicken, and it just gives it a different flavor with the smokiness.
Well, what do you put in it, Michael, that makes it not, that makes it white?
Well, you use the white beans, and there's you don't use like a traditional chili seasoning to it. It has a different type of seasoning that comes in it. I've bought the kits in the past for the white chili chicken chilies, but I don't know exactly what the seasonings are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Jason, what makes yours so special? I was reading the Perry
pretty much about the same thing. I really haven't seen a lot of variations on white chicken chili. It's just a white bean, and then like Michael said, your seasoning is not your typical the darker the chili seasonings. I don't know really what all they put in it. I'm with him on that. Just the white chicken chili, the kits, so to speak. But yeah, it just makes it a lighter color of chili.
It sounds good to me. I like,
It's
of course,
fantastic.
I like chicken, but I like regular chili as well.
Yeah.
Are you both guys, both meat and beans?
Yes.
Me too. Michael?
it depends.
Oh,
I like them both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I get it. I had some, I don't know if I posted a picture. I had some, I don't know if you've had Campbell's chili and beans, chili with meat and beans in it. It comes out, out of a can. That stuff's pretty good to me. I don't know about y'all, but that stuff's pretty good. And I put some of David's bean seasoning in it, Michael. And I tell you what, that bean seasoning that David has is it's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable.
It's very special. Everything you put it in, it just makes it delicious.
Have you had any yet, Jason?
I don't know that I have, which I had the apple pie baked beans that you had made. I don't know if you had any of that in it. I believe you did or no.
Yeah,
did?
yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Yeah,
absolutely we did.
Yeah, those baked beans are they're top notch.
They really are.
Yeah.
You got 3 flavors of seasoning that you put in the baked beans, and they go good in chili. I know Billy Holland puts them on his chicken wings.
Oh.
And it's kind of a product that's you can get outside of the box. That's my favorite kind of product when it's made for one thing, but you can use it for other things. I really do like that. So the guys will be cooking, the contestants will be cooking for a first place prize. I don't know if you even know this, Jason. $500 is first place prize, $300 is second place, and third place is $150. So it's a $900 pot that the guys will be cooking for. And if you don't think it's going to get serious, it's going to get serious. I assure you.
That's what I was fixing to say. And of course, as judges, as being on that team, we've got to be on top of our game as well. I mean, that's a pretty hefty little pot for a chili cook-off.
Yeah, it is. And what we're going to do is each contestant will bring the 5 judges 5 samples of their chili, and they'll actually stand before them as their chili is being eaten and judged. And the judges will have 2 minutes to ask them any questions. And within that 2-minute period, the contestant will have to tell about his chili and explain why he thinks that his chili should be the chili that the people vote on. Gotcha. So it's kind of a give and take thing. It's kind of like you've watched Chopped on Food Network. It's kind of the same sort of deal. Watching somebody judge your food is it's either going to be exciting or it's going to be humbling. Right. So it's going to be a really, and Pete's going to run the judges room. So okay. I need my hammer in there just in case things get out of hand.
So we're as a judge, we're going to have 2 minutes per contestant to kind of have a back and forth.
Yes, exactly.
Cool.
When they'll come in with 5 containers of their chili with their number written on top, and once everybody gets the top off the chili, that's when the timer will start.
Gotcha. Okay.
And we'll do that 10 times.
Sweet.
So we're going to try to. I think I can do it, Michael. What I want to try to do is, of course, we'll put it on Facebook Live, the actual judging, and I think I can stream it, out in the sales room, and stream it to one of the televisions.
Right.
And so everybody can watch as the food's being judged. I think that'll be pretty cool.
Oh yeah. So
it should be a lot of fun. We invite everybody to come out. We'll have other stuff to eat there, too, during the we'll have, finger food for everybody. It's gonna be kind of like our Christmas open house. Okay. And I just thought it would be fun to incorporate a chili contest because I made some chili last year. I made it a couple times and I really enjoyed it. I used Meat Church, Matt Pittman's recipe and his chili additive, and I followed it to a T. And you know what? It really was good. I enjoyed it. And the family enjoyed it. Say what, Michael?
You gave me some of that to take home one day.
Yeah. And it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I enjoyed it. So I'm not crazy about being a chili guy yet, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. It sure is good this time of year when especially this past week is really our first week of chilly weather.
Yep.
Where you can get inside and, cuddle up at the bowl and watch a little football, especially like on Saturday where it's a little cool outside, and eat a bowl of chili like I did. And I ate Wendy's canned chili, my favorite.
Oh yeah.
You had that, Michael?
Oh yeah. It is good.
It's good. Jason, have you had Wendy's chili?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can buy it in Food City in a can.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can go there and
Okay.
buy it in a can. I put a little bit of Meat Church chili seasoning in it, and
Oh,
put a little sour cream and cheese on top of it, and mix it in there. It's good.
dial it up a little bit.
Exactly right. All
You
right.
can't beat Wendy's chili. It's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. He did. That's a good idea he had. Okay. Um, let's talk about prime rib a little bit. All right. Jason, and Michael, Michael, we'll go to you first. You got a prime rib game?
I've cooked it a few times. It's not my strongest point. I want to learn from you how to do it after tasting your prime rib, but I love to eat it. Just not a master chef at cooking it.
Jason?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as Michael there. I've cooked it multiple times. I haven't really had a bad one yet, but I've yet to nail down one that that's my go-to prime rib. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. They're so easy to cook, and it's prime ribs a lot like a brisket. People are afraid because they're so expensive.
Right.
They're expensive. I think I cooked that last weekend. I did a little practice, and because I wanted to make a butter like a slurry for it. I've never done that before, and I did that. And so I bought a prime rib, and it was a little pricey. I missed the sale that they had last week.
Yep.
I missed that sale.
I always try to watch Publix kind of in between Thanksgiving and Christmas. I don't think it's started yet. Possibly, I don't know, but they'll run their rib roast. I want to say last year it was $5.99 a pound.
$6.95.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it was in Noodle. That's what it was in Noodle.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm watching that like a hawk.
Oh, absolutely.
Right now, I'm watching that. What we're doing at the store this year. Oh, I want to tell you real quick one thing. We got a new rub in, and it is from Mark Williams over at Swine Life Barbecue. Of course, Mark is he is in the Malcolm Reed camp. He is Malcolm's wholesale manager, him and his brother. And but Mark puts out 3 rubs. This is his newest one. It's been out for a while, but I have not had it. Michael, I think you're the one that encouraged me to get this, weren't you?
I did mention it to you a while back.
Yeah. Michael's he's kind of like that little angel that sits on my shoulder, Jason, and whispers in my ear on stuff I need to get.
Right.
And we got this. There it is, right there. Swan Life Barbecue Prime Beef Rub.
Okay.
And they've got an all-purpose rub, and that's the grit. And what's the other one, Michael? The grit and the
grit and
what
grind.
is it?
Grind.
And what was? I haven't tasted the grind yet. I have it, but what was it like? I mean, what's it for?
One of them is an AP rub, and one is just a pork barbecue rub.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But this prime, man,
that's good.
That stuff. Man, I'm telling you, Jason, if you haven't had this yet,
I have not.
It's heavy on the pepper.
Okay.
And says prime beef rub is packed full of savory flavors that is designed to elevate any cut of beef. When it's dinner time, make it prime. SwineLifeBarbecue.com. # make it prime. Let's see what we got here. We've got salt, MSG, spices, sugar, garlic, onion, maple sugar powder. A lot of people using maple sugar now. I like that. Beef type flavor, baker's yeast extract, umami medley, and a bunch of other stuff. Rice extract, a whole bunch of stuff. Food starch. Excuse me. Stuff's pretty hot too. I think I'm going to try that on a. I think that'd be a good steak rub, Michael.
It is good. It is very.
I think it will really make it pop.
Michael, you've tried it?
I have.
Yeah, just now. I haven't tried it on food.
Well, Michael's cooked something with it though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I bought it probably 2 years ago
when
it first came out down at Malcolm's shop in Mississippi. And first time I'd seen it there, and I thought, well, here's something new to try because I'm a rub junkie. I've got
me too.
bottles of rub in my kitchen, and I keep trying to weed them out because I get too many. But it's very good. It reminds me a lot of Suckle Buster's 1836. It's a very pepper forward kind of flavor. It's good. I mean, it's
So
great beef.
probably be good on a brisket then, being pepper forward.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, I could see you putting that on a brisket, and you'd get a pretty powerful punch on that too.
Yep. Good crust, good bark.
Yeah, it's got enough pepper in it. Michael, you could almost use that to blacken a steak if you wanted to blacken one.
Probably could.
It wouldn't turn as black as say David's Texas bark, but it would get pretty. It's a lot of brown and black in this thing. But anyway, it's good, and we've got it. It's prime. Swan Life Barbecue Prime beef rub. We've got it at the store. We've got his other two too, Grit and Grind. Good products, and it's right there in the Malcolm Reed section of the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply Store. Okay, this year, I always like to I love doing prime rib, and I always like to do something different. Like 2 years ago, we did the prime ribs, and we just cooked them without tying them up. And last year, I was talking to I don't know if I got my recipe, and I didn't invent this recipe. I got it from my good friend, Rub Bagby. Rub cooked a barbecue school. He did a barbecue school down in Calhoun a few years ago, and I attended it. And the Friday night meal is traditionally the people with the barbecue school feeds all the attendees. Jason, I don't know if you've ever been to a barbecue school or not. But if it's overnight, they usually feed you. And Rub did prime rib, and it was the best, and still is the best prime rib I've ever had. Better than Jay Alexander's prime rib, and I love Jay Alexander's prime rib. So that, to me, that's the bar. That is the bar, and Rub's is right there with it, if not better.
Wow.
And I wish I could duplicate it, but I still haven't been able to do it that good. But last year, I learned to Thai roast, and this is my thought on a prime rib. And I know there's lots of ways to do it. I take the bones off, okay, and then I tie it, and I get it as tight as I can in almost a circle, and then I set it out on the counter, and I'll set it out for maybe 2.5, 3 hours, trying to get it up to room temperature or as close as I can. And what that does, that makes the prime rib cook the same all the way front to back, up and down, side to side. So when you slice it, it's perfectly medium rare from the top to the bottom. You don't have any of that gray, where the spinalis turns gray,
right?
And it doesn't look. I mean, it looks good and it tastes good. Don't get me wrong; it's still good, but it just the way that Rub did it. It was all the same, and that's how he showed me how to do it. That's where I got the idea from.
Okay.
And it works. It just flat works. But this year I wanted to take it a step further. So I went to the internet to get a easy to make Michael, you may know, or Jason, what is it called? I call it a slurry. Is when you mix up butter and stuff.
Compound butter.
No, it's not compound butter you use. I know what you're talking about, but this is when you put the stuff all over the prime rib. What would that be called? Do you have any idea?
I've seen it, but I don't know what you call it.
So you're a coat the prime rib with butter. That's your method, or that's what you're going to try.
Yeah, that's what I come up for the new thing for this year.
Yep.
Yeah. And what you do, you get a half a cup of Kerrygold butter, or any butter, but I use a Kerrygold.
Absolutely.
You got to get it to room temperature where it gets real soft. You put in a tablespoon of Butcher Barbecue Grilling Addiction, 6 garlic cloves, or 6 teaspoons of that Spice World olive oil garlic, that comes in a little bottle. That's the easiest thing to use. A teaspoon of thyme, a teaspoon of rosemary, and a teaspoon of black pepper. And what I did, I put it in a bowl, and I mixed it up really, really good. And let that butter get just really room temperature, and then you mix it up more, and it gets to be a very, very it's a nice consistency. I call it a slurry, but it's workable. You know what I'm saying? You can you can work it. Then I put my gloves on, and I smeared it all over that prime rib, and used it all up. And the prime rib I did, of course, was 6 pounds, which is 2 bones. That's about right. And cooked it, and it turned out really good. So what I did this year, what we're doing is I've got a kit that I've made for everybody to buy, and it comes with everything you need to cook this prime rib. It doesn't come with the slurry stuff because you'll have to go to the store and get that, but it does come with a ball of Butcher Barbecue's butcher twine to tie up the prime rib with, and I'll show you how to tie it. It's real easy, and it makes it look really good for presentation, and most of all, it keeps it in a big circle, so you'll get a nice what they call a coast-to-coast cook on it, where it'll all be the same color. Then it's going to come with a bottle of Butcher Barbecue's Grilling Addiction. Now, you only use 1 tablespoon of that in the recipe for the slurry, but this is good afterwards when you've cut the prime rib. And, Michael, so I know some people like to salt stuff, everything, because my taste buds are wearing out as the older I get. But this is perfect for that, when you're eating it. And you can use that on your vegetables, anything. It's just fantastic. It comes with this kit. Also comes with a pair of neoprene gloves that you can use to smear that the slurry on there, because it's just easiest to do it with your hands instead of trying to do it. I tried to do it with a spoon. It's not going to work. You just got to put those gloves on and get in there with your hands. It just get nasty. And it's a lot of fun. And also, it comes with 4 half pans right there. You see that, 4 half pans. And it comes with 2 risers. Now you're thinking, if you're doing 1 prime rib, why do I need 4 pans and 2 risers? Well, I always cook when you're cooking with these pans, I cook with 2, simply because when you cook with 1, Michael, they get a little wanky in there, don't they? When they're being heated up.
Flimsy.
Yeah. And so I have 2 for the prime rib, but I've also got 2 for the bones, because I cook mine without the bones in them. I took the bones to the side. And you say, well, what do you do with the bones, Steve? Well, I've got a recipe for you. It says what to do with those bones. What you've got are short ribs.
Yep.
And they are freaking delicious. Michael, before the Big Green Egg Festival, I brought those bones with us that I'd cooked with the prime ribs, and we kind of saved those for ourselves, Jason. And we cut them up, and man, Michael, they were better than the prime rib, weren't they?
They were amazing.
So you had me with grilling addiction. I mean, I've yet to find anything you can't put that on and it make it better.
I know. So what I've done is I've got my recipe, I've got the method and the recipe. I wrote it down, and we've got copies of it. And you can come in and get a free copy of it, and it comes with the kit as well. And the kit is $38.95. It comes with all that. So what you've got is basically you're ready to go. All you need to do is add the prime rib and the ingredients for the slurry. And I also have the recipe for the bones to cook the short ribs. And they're very easy to cook. You cook them right alongside the prime rib. And I've got the whole method in there. It's very short, only 9 steps from start to finish. And you've got it written down. So you've got the prime rib recipe. You've got the short rib recipe. You've got the butcher twine, the gloves, the grilling addiction, and the half pans and the risers for $38.95. Now, if you need a knife, we have knives now. Okay, we got knives now. It's $30. So you add $30, it'd be $68.95 if you need a good knife. And we'll talk more about knives later. But if you need a good knife, we've got them now, and they're about $30 for a 6-inch bony knife, and that's what we use to trim a prime rib. Michael, when you're doing a prime rib, how much trimming do you do on yours?
Well, there's like a little fat cap area that I trim off. I try to show as much meat as I can. That's just coming from doing briskets and other types of beef. I want the seasoning to stick to the meat, and it doesn't stick to fat very well. So I'm aggressive with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What do you do, Jason?
I'm kind of in that same camp there, but I don't mind a little bit of fat on it. I love that, nice rendered fat on a prime rib. But I get pretty aggressive with it myself.
On this, when you use that slurry, you don't, I don't know what y'all use for a binder, but when I'm doing my prime rib, say if I'm using David's steak and brisket rub, or if I'm using Malcolm's AP rub, or if I'm using David's grilling addiction, I'll spray it down with butter first, and then I'll sprinkle the rub on it all around. But when you're using this slurry, you pat the prime rib dry. You don't season the outside of it at all. All your seasoning comes from the slurry itself. So you want it to stick on there really good. And what I found is if you put the butter on it, it doesn't stick to it good. So you got to leave it nice and dry, and not put anything on it. And you put that butter concoction on there. And the one I did Sunday was, fellas, I'm going to tell you something. It was really good. It was really, really good. I started it out at the way you do it. You put the butter concoction on it on the outside. You set your smoker at 400 degrees. And Jason, we're going to talk about your new smoker in just a minute.
All right.
You set your smoker at 450 degrees. I'm sorry, 450, and you get it really hot. And then you put your when it comes up to temperature, you put your prime rib in the smoker, and you cook it for 20 minutes. And what you're doing then is just getting that outside butter slurry concoction. It's actually, melting into the prime rib, and it's getting a little bit of hardness to it, a little crispiness to it. And then after 20 minutes, you knock that temperature down to 350. And you finish your cook there. And what I found was after 20 minutes, the internal temperature of the prime rib was still only 55 degrees. So it just works on the outside. And then I hit the 350 button, brought the smoker down to 350, left the prime rib in there, didn't take it out. And I had those short ribs in there at the same time, right next to them. So they're cooking the same time as you're doing the prime rib. And so at 350, I guess it took probably, an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes for that prime rib to get up to 120 to 125 degrees. And that's when I pulled it.
That's not bad at all.
No. And about 45 minutes through that cook, I covered up those, I sprayed those short ribs down with butter. I put a little water in the bottom of the pan, and then I covered them with aluminum foil. And when the prime rib was ready, the short ribs were ready as well. So the short ribs, that's a real quick cook. And I tell you, fellas, I think we've hit a home run. I really do. We'll cook one on the 16th up at the store, and we'll have everybody up there to sample it. But
I look forward to that.
Yeah. If you want that method, I've got it all written down for you. And if you don't want to buy the kit, that's fine. You just come on by. I've got my guys over at Creative Business Forums. They're putting together a stack of the prime rib recipe and a stack of the short rib bone recipe, and you can just come and pick it up free of charge if you want to. It's very simple. I am not a recipe writer. I have figured that out. Writing recipes is hard. I don't know if you've ever tried to, but it's hard. It takes a lot of time. But I put it in just very simple terms, very simple method, and it's good. It's going to be good, Michael. This will be a good method. If you follow this method like I followed it, and like Rub showed me, and then you'll have a successful cook on your hands.
Well, I'm going to, because I've tasted yours already.
That one we did at the Egg Fest was pretty good. We got a lot of good reviews on that.
The most tender beef ribs I've ever had.
Yeah, that was funny. When beef ribs kill me because they look so funny when they're done. They're all covered with meat when you put them on the smoker, and then when they're done, they're snaggly tooth. Look like walrus teeth.
Yeah.
And I just think they're funny. I just think that's funny. Now, a couple weeks ago, Jason, you and your brother-in-law Jason came over to the store and bought the two last remaining. But we got more. We got more coming. We'll talk about that in a minute. But at the time, the last two remaining Green Mountain grills. Now let's get a real quick review from you on the Green Mountain grill, because you're like Michael. You got grills out the yin yang at your house.
I definitely have an arsenal.
Yeah. So what did you think about that?
My first initial thought was it's built very well. We got the Prime Series ledge, stainless lid. Construction of the grill seems top notch. One thing that I've learned that I wanted to touch on that I didn't realize to begin with was these grills run off of 12 volts. Every other pellet grill that I've seen runs off of 110. Mm-hmm. And upon further investigation, I've read that there's a lot of people that say that you can really control an electric motor like this style better with 12 volts. I do have some other pellet grills, and they're more like, which this one does too. It kind of cycles on and off, but the fan will kind of drop down into a low setting, if you will. None of my other ones will do that. They're a strictly on-off fan. Mm-hmm. And this grill is super quiet. When it comes up to temp, you walk by the grill and you literally can barely hear it even running.
Yeah, I've gone by mine sometimes going, is that thing on?
Yes.
You look at the box to make sure the temperature's still up.
Yes. But no, it looks like it's very well constructed. I've yet to do a cook on it. I have done my burn in and stuff and just messing around with it a little bit. But the fire pot looks, I think that's their own design. I've never seen a fire pot. It kind of uses, I guess, a Venturi effect, I guess, how it does in there. And then a vortex. That's the word I'm looking for. And then the way the cook chamber is designed, it kind of gives this rotating of the heat in there, I guess, which kind of acts as a convection type oven. But right. I have zero complaints about it so far.
Well, good. Glad you liked it. Now, Jason and his brother-in-law, who's also named Jason, they bought the last two. I've got 5 more coming. I've already got one of those sold. So we're going to have 4 more Green Mountain grills. The price on them is going to be $719 each, and that's still a fantastic value. That grill was listed for $895, and I sold a ton of them at $895. But these were our closeouts. They're going to be $719 for a Green Mountain grill, top of the line, ledge, Prime, Wi-Fi. Have you hooked the Wi-Fi up yet, Jason?
I did, yes. The Prime app, there's 2 different apps with Green Mountain Grill. The Prime app with the iPhone users is kind of finicky a little bit. They are having some issues with it from what I've read. But now the old app, I hooked it just fine. I can be anywhere as long as I'm connected and my grill is plugged in downstairs, and turn my grill on, and it will be up to temp when I get home.
That's fantastic.
Yep. That's
fantastic. So we appreciate y'all coming and getting those.
Yeah, thank you.
If you
I'll be honest with y'all, I went in that day not looking to buy a grill, and we walked out of there with 2, just because it's definitely a well-built grill.
But they're so easy to use. There was a guy in there, and he was talking about his green egg, and he was kind of frustrated with it. And I mean, I'm not down in green egg. Green eggs are great. I love green eggs. I used to have one. I don't have one anymore. It's just not my style of cooking. But it is a lot of people's style of cooking. But he was bemoaning the fact that, it took so much you got to add, change things around to put more wood in it. You got to take everything apart, blah, blah, blah. With the Green Mountain grill, and Michael, any pellet grill, really, it simplifies your cooking. It lets you spend, what I like about it, it lets you spend more time on the food, seasoning the food, checking the food, than it does messing with the grill. Michael. Would you agree with that?
100%. It takes you're cooking to another level. You don't have to worry about fire management. Turn it on, put your meat on it, walk away. I don't even wait on mine to come up to temperature. I'll put my meat on it before I even start the grill, set it to my setting, go in the house.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm done. Jason, what was it like with the first time you used a pellet grill? I know you've got I think you have a Rectech too, you said, right?
I do. Yeah, I have a Rectech, and I have ceramic cookers as well. I have 2 Kamado Joes. I was a little bit apprehensive, I guess, because I've always, like the fellow that you were talking about, I've always kind of had the experience of what I call driving the grill. You know, I gotta make sure this vent's set here, this vent's set here, and wood's got to be stocked up. And the set it and forget it thing, I mean, it's true. I mean, what I really like about it though is I can spend more time doing prep on other stuff that my sides, that type of thing, while my main dish is cooking, and I don't even have to think about it. I don't have to worry about it, and with the app, you can put the probe in the meat and it will send you notifications when your meat's coming up to temp, and you just know it's there.
I did a turkey for a good friend of our family's, and I wanted it to be right. So I did a practice turkey out on my offset, my stick burner, because we were Pete wanted to do a pork butt. So I said, let's just do a turkey out there and see how this turkey turns out. And let's see if this is what I want to make for my friend, because I wanted her dinner to be, perfect for her family. And I was not happy with that turkey on the offset. The pork butt was fine, but I found that the turkey was dirty, and I run a clean fire, but it's still sooty. Yeah. It was not appealing to me as far as being able to cook something for somebody else. So I cooked hers the next day. I cooked hers and I cooked it on the pellet grill, and it came out perfect. So, I mean, it makes your food so much easier to make, number one, but it makes your food good.
Yeah.
It makes those turkeys are golden. The prime rib I did this weekend, I did it on my Green Mountain Grill here at home. The temperature just stays right on. You don't have to mess with it. And I just can't, I didn't use a pellet grill till January of 2020. We had the store open, and I was selling pit barrel cookers, and I love pit barrel cookers. I mean, I just love them. But people didn't understand them, lifting a lid, and they didn't want to fool with the charcoal and that stuff. And I get it. And they kept asking me, have you ever cooked with a pellet? Do you have pellet cookers? And I said, no, I don't. I didn't know anything about them. So I went down to the hardware store that one weekend, and I bought one, brought it home, put it together, and used it all weekend. And by Sunday afternoon, I was shaking my head going, where have you been, Steve? This is the future of grilling right here. This is the future. This is where it's going. And it is. And I'm convinced that it is. And that's why we're going to be handling the new line of Green Mountain Grills that'll be coming out January or February. We'll get those in too.
One other thing I like about them too, Michael, I don't know if you have stick burners or offsets or anything as well, but in the past when I was doing long overnight cooks, I'm stressed out. Like I'm up and down pretty much all night, checking my fire, checking temps. Now I can put it on pellet grill and I go to bed. As long as it's got pellets, I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, I agree. Pellet cookers, I've done a lot of overnight cooks with mine. Just put your food on, go to bed, get up the next morning, your food's done.
Yep.
So it's amazing. They're really good.
And you don't even really need to get up. I mean, you can get up and spritz it if you want to, but it holds the moistness in there. If you can, and you can put a water pan in a pellet cooker. If there's plenty of room in them. Yep. If you want to fill up a pan with water and add moisture to the environment, go ahead and do it. That's what I did with that turkey. I put a little pan of water in there. And I tell you, with the Manchester pellets that we have now, the ones with no fillers, no sawdust, and no fillers.
Binders, no binders. Yeah.
Binders, is that what they're called, Michael?
Yeah.
The argument that I don't get enough smoke off my pellet grill like I do my offset, you will get a better taste with the Manchester pellet grills, I assure you. They seem to burn. They burn longer, and they burn super clean. And the smoke taste, the wood taste, the outdoor live fire taste is much more pronounced with the Manchester pellets than the other pellets that we have at the store that I've tried. And I've tried them all, and they're all good. Don't get me wrong. They're all the pellets are good, but these Manchester pellets are just kind of a step above. And we've got those too at the store. So, fellas, we're going to get out of here.
All right.
I appreciate you, Michael, being here. Jason, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, you bet. I hope you guys will come out and see us Saturday. Mike, I know you'll be there. We'll be doing a little show on Saturday morning. Maybe Pete will come back home. He's been gone. He's on vacation or something. He is roaming Michigan, the state of Michigan, killing animals. He sent me pictures of sausage tonight.
Nice.
I know. And I mean, he's living the good life right now. Our buddy Pete just retired a couple weeks ago. So he is living large. I guess this is how you kick out for retirement, Michael.
Tell Pete. Go ahead, Michael.
I was going to say, Steve, don't forget to mention your Barbecue Delight pellets you got on sale for $9.95. They're not going to last long. They're selling out fast.
Yeah, we've got all the flavors are still left, but Michael's right. We've got the Barbecuer's Delight for $9.95 a bag. That's 20-pound bag. And of course, we've got Bear Mountain pellets as well. We've got all the blends of Bear Mountains too. So pellets are us. We've got the best selection of pellets in town, I promise you, and the best prices on the pellets as well. We want to be your one-stop source for barbecue supplies. We certainly want to be your one-stop source for pellets. We've got Texas charcoal, briquettes, and lump charcoal, and we've got the Bear Mountain wood chips and the Bear Mountain wood chunks. So if you need fuel for whatever you cook on, if you need fuel, we've got it. We have even got pecan wood and oak wood out back. You can buy it by the wheelbarrow load and load it up if you need some real wood. I mean wood. If you need real wood, we've even got that. We are your fuel destination, and that's what we want to do. We want to be your one-stop shop. All right, guys. We'll see y'all Saturday. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. Jason, Michael, good night.
Yep, good night.
Thank you very much. And I thank you for everybody for listening to us and watching the show. Don't forget, coming up next at 7:30 on the Butcher Barbecue Facebook page, David Bosca will be reviewing one of his products. It's a new product, and we can't tell you what it is because it's a secret, but you don't want to miss this one, I promise you. It is going to be the most interesting product review that David has done yet. So we thank you for listening. We thank you for watching. And we will see you Saturday morning at 9 on the Owl's Nest Barbecue Show live from the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply Store in Ottawa. Thanks for watching.